What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast, the podcast that never sleeps, the podcast that never stops, the podcast that talks about politics sometimes and also talks about a lot of dumb shit sometimes. Oh my gosh, I didn't grab the... Oh my god. I was going to start the episode with a review of a drink I've drank like 400 of at this point. I don't know if you guys know about this. Let me put you on. It's really not that good, but let me put you on something funky and crazy looking. This right here. Look at this. Ugh. This right here, look at that. A&W. Zero sugar. Ice cream sundae with the cherry. And yes, it does taste like an ice cream sundae with fudge. It really does. Tastes like an ice cream sundae with fudge. It's pretty good. It's okay. I can't... This is the thing that sucks, is usually I buy cases of soda, so I have something to drink with dinner, right? And, I can't drink this with any dinner. It's so off. It's so off. I literally can't drink it with anything. Sorry, hold on. So, hold on. Hold the phone. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. War Department. Oh my god. So, little history lesson, folks. In the olden days, from the beginning of this country's government, so in the 1780s, late 1780s, we had the Department of War, or the War Department. And it was dissolved like right after World War II, because we wanted to give off this feeling of like peace, like we're the world defenders and we're the world police, and we're trying to give off this feeling of being like a peaceful nation that will come to the defense of other nations. And we renamed it the State Department, and it looks like, or sorry, we renamed it the Defense Department, the Department of Defense. My bad. I always confuse the two because they're basically the same fucking thing. And it seems that the United States are now going back to having the Department of War. Donald Trump just announced this like an hour ago. Although it seems that it's already been reported on a decent amount of times, but yeah, it looks like Trump wants to rename it the Department of War. I don't care. I really don't. That's just going to be like a brand killer for them. The peaceful dove, none of these wars would have ever started if I was president. None of these things would have happened if I was the president. I can just say that and people will believe me. Mr. Peaceful Dove. It's like, what if we rename the Department of Defense the War Department? Okay. There's a gnat in this room. Anyway, who cares? I feel like liberals are going to get all up in arms about it. I really don't care that much. I want to talk about this dog. I want to talk about the president dying, bro. I want to talk about that. Y'all mind if we talk about that? So, last week, on like Tuesday, Trump gave a press conference where he was being a little weird. But like not too out of the ordinary from how he normally is. And then he just didn't go back on TV for an entire week until the following Tuesday. And I know he said in his little speech that You know, with Biden used to do this all the time, and all of a sudden, when I do it, everybody's like, "Yes, the devil is dead." That is because he is always in front of a TV camera, like always. What is going on with my hair today? That is because Trump is always in front of a TV camera, and so it is unusual when he just suddenly stops making media appearances. I swear my hair only does this when I'm on the podcast. I swear it only does this when I'm on an episode. Ugh. Anyway, it's because Trump is always on camera. So people are like, that's very weird that all of a sudden he's no longer appearing on camera and he hasn't really said anything. And then on top of that, JD Vance was answering questions from the media regarding like if he's fit to be the next president or if he's ready to take on that role. He was like, I think I've received some pretty good on-the-job training, you know, just some stuff that like old Roman or like yeah, like Roman or Ottoman generals used to say when the emperor like showed signs of weakness. It'd be like, you know what, I think it's my time. And the emperor would be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, yeah, he was suspected to be dead. He also has all that shit on his hand, probably from IV injections. And then all the photos we were seeing of him, he looks like this. Like, he just doesn't look good at all. I mean, he never looks good, but he looks way worse than usual. The Did Trump Die Today Twitter account has been tweeting a bit. Let's see. What? The U.S. conducted strike in South Caribbean? What are we doing? What are we doing? Ay, ay, ay. So yeah, the president is not dead. I know. However, it must feel really awful when you go online and you see that like most of the population is celebrating you being dead. That just must really suck if you're Donald Trump. I feel like I'm like blacking out. Did I just have a stroke? There's this one guy that's been suspecting that Trump's been having strokes and that the White House has been covering it up. So what happens if we get a JD Vance presidency? Well, that'll be the closest Peter Thiel has ever been to the White House. And Peter Thiel is an absolute demon. He's been asked before what he thinks about the human race enduring. And he decided to just kind of be like, well, and then he just doesn't answer the question. What did I just watch? Come on, boy, we got a car. We should interview him about his car. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. JD Vance being the president is an absolute disaster. But also, I feel like he would lose a lot of his support. I feel like the Trump base only cares about Trump. I feel like he wouldn't have all that cult-like support like Trump has. So he wouldn't get like unilateral support for anything that he does. He'd get like a little bit of support, and then the rest of the population would be like, "This is kind of some demon shit." It's a little weird. In other political news, Trump wants to ban transgender people from having guns. So that is your sign, people. Arm yourselves. It's like straight out of the Nazi playbook. De-arm the group that you want to round up into camps and then they can't defend themselves when you go to put them in the camp. So if you're trans or really any marginalized group, you should own a firearm. You should own a firearm of some kind. High-powered firearm, perhaps. If you feel so inclined. I'll see why not. Start doing what the Black Panther movement did, which is arming themselves and then organizing to protest the federal government trying to take away their gun rights. That's what you should do. All right, let's get to the big story that's probably in the title, folks. It's true. I'm gay. It's true. Liberal content creators across the spectrum, all the most annoying people you see on Twitter, and even some of the people you thought you could be aligned with, are receiving dark money. That's how the article says it, dark money. They're receiving corporate funding to shut the hell up about certain topics and only push Democrat talking points. I have the Wired article. I also have the full article without the paywall. What? Who said that, dude? This article goes pretty in depth. I'm not going to read directly from the article itself. I wrote down some stuff I wanted to cover. But this is an article from Taylor Lorenz published on Wired. And I'm not even remotely surprised that this is the case. I mean, be so real. I believe the article has been updated to some extent with comments because that company realized they fucked up when this article popped the hell off and became a big deal. The company Torres and like that 1638 foundation thing that like is funding them and whatever. Pretty much all the people involved, most of them pretty much declined to comment. And then this article came out and it blew up. And now all of a sudden they want to put a little comment in there. So I'm sure there's been some changes to the article, but I want to read out some of the parts that I found pretty interesting. Because this is a pretty big deal. I mean, this involves Brian Tyler Cohen, who I'm sure you see all the time, No Lies with BTC on Twitter. I'm sure you see him all the time. He's one of the co-founders of Chorus, according to this article. Some guy named Perlmutter. Loser. Nobody knows who that is. They pretty much have gathered enough content creators to have a potential reach of up to 40 million followers and as many as 100 million viewers. This is a huge amount of reach. And apparently according to I don't know how to say her last name, but Kat, who used to work for Media Matters and she's running for Congress right now. She's pretty cool. She's awesome. I believe she is Palestinian. I hope I'm right about that. Hello? Hello? She is Palestinian, okay. Yeah, she's sick. What does she host again? I forgot. I know she used to work for Media Matters, and now she's running for a political position. But she also does like YouTube videos and makes a lot. Yeah, Mother Jones. Okay, she works for Mother Jones. So that's how I know her. I know her from Mother Jones. But she said that apparently she was pictured on Chorus's website and was included in fundraising stuff, and she did not consent to any of that. She has no affiliation, apparently. Thank God we got a comment from her. But yeah, according to the article, quote, influencers included in communication about the program and in some cases an onboarding session for those received payments from the 1630 fund. Oh, 1630, okay. These people are being paid by an organization to push certain talking points, to have who they interview controlled, what talking points they spew controlled. Anything that dissents from the Democratic Party seems to be squashed underneath this organization. And it's interesting creators too. I mean, a lot of these people are pretty well known, and one of them actually had a really embarrassing response, which I want to go over. I didn't put it in the doc because I wrote this a few days ago, but I want to list off the people who are part of this organization according to the article. Some of the more notable ones. So the host of Occupy Democrats, Lauren Paritra, she's part of it. Someone who calls themselves Regina George Liberal, Suzanne Lambert, is part of this. Ariel Fodor, who's a popular education creator on TikTok with over 1 million followers. The older brother of Jazz Jennings of TLC fame, Sander Jennings. If you remember Jazz is a trans person who starred on a reality show on TLC, like way back in the day. And I guess this person is part of this program too. Let's see. I'm holding on to the big one. Olivia Juliana, who is that woman who spoke at the DNC in that like infamous video where Austin shows in the background, like looking super confused. But the biggest name on here, arguably, one of the more well-known politically names on here is David Pakman, who is pretty known for avoiding the topic of Israel specifically, and has a history of not really saying super critical things of Israel. But yeah, David Pakman's on this list. Kind of upsetting. I didn't know that David Pakman was so, like, kind of dog shit on this one particular topic. And apparently, I have the clip. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can subscribe for $10 a month to get bonus content. Or you can subscribe for $1 or $3 a month if you just want to support us. There's also higher tiers if you want to support us even more, even harder. But you don't have to. So head on over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And for $10 a month, you can get the bonus episodes and even bonus content like the outtakes for this little segment. So thanks for supporting us and thanks for listening. So one of the most embarrassing things about David Pakman's involvement is his absolutely garbage response to the AIPAC claims. I guess people were accusing him of kind of working with AIPAC on this because, Chorus's whole goal here is to pretty much avoid dissent against the Democratic Party in support of Israel. And David Pakman's response to him knowing about him being affiliated with AIPAC was to claim that he doesn't know how to say AIPAC. Look at this.
Some creators in the first 48 hours took the Wired story and expanded it with even more outrageous claims, suggesting that it's AIPAC or IPAC. I don't even know how it's pronounced. IPAC, that is funding this show or other creators. Of course, not true. That the DNC is involved, not true. Some creators in the first 48 hours took the Wired story and expanded it with even more outrageous claims, suggesting that it's AIPAC or IPAC. I don't even know how it's pronounced. IPAC, that is funding this show or other creators. Of course.
IPAC. Why would he say this when he has hosted this show for years now? Why would he say something like this?
Show
He also said he wants to sue Taylor Lorenz for defamation, saying, I've consulted with some of the top defamation attorneys in the country.
About a defamation lawsuit. After Wired published a piece last week that made a number of untrue allegations and implications about me and other creators, claiming I'm taking money in exchange for letting someone dictate the content of this show or restrict what I'm talking about, and many other claims and implications. A whole bunch of you wrote to me and said, David, are you going to sue for defamation? Suing for defamation and winning is really the way to take control back and to prove that you didn't do the things you're accused of. Now, it's a fair question, and I want to talk about that today. I didn't even plan on mentioning this entire fiasco again, but it really has taken on a life of its own. Over the last few days, I've consulted with some of the top defamation attorneys in the country, lawyers who have won some of the largest verdicts, I think, in U.S. history. And I've been advised this could take 6 figures in legal fees just to get to the end without even a guarantee of getting the money back, right? I am not litigious by nature. I think all of you know that. I've never sued anybody. It would be stressful. It would be time consuming.
What are all these cuts, dude? That's so funny. Why would he say that? Him saying this on his show means he has no case. Wired wouldn't have published an article like this if they thought they could be sued for defamation. Like, let's be honest here. Also, why is everybody going after Taylor Lorenz? I hardly ever hear anyone mention the part where Wired also published this article. So he wouldn't just be suing Taylor Lorenz. He would be suing Wired's legal team because Wired would support her in that suit. Like, I don't understand the point of this. Like, there's so many other routes they could have taken in this. So many that they could have taken in response to this, and they chose like one of the worst ones. Also, by the way, David Pakman's brother works for the or was the regional director for the ADL. Shocker. Senior associate regional director for the Anti-Defamation League. So he also used to be David Pakman's producer. So David Pakman not knowing how APAC is pronounced. An absolute fucking joke. And by the way, he does actually know how to pronounce it.
Support APAC.
Here's an entire compilation of him pronouncing it while he was going after Ilhan Omar.
APAC. From APAC. APAC. Support APAC. APAC. From APAC.
Hold on, there's more than that.
In the first 48 hours.
Hold the phone. There's way more than that. Give me the whole ass compilation.
Marks were at the APAC CEO Summit. Heard nothing about APAC for years. Pakman, it's a reference to APAC. He was being anti-Semitic towards you. Oh yeah, I have nothing to do with APAC. APAC is an American-Israeli lobby. The APAC stuff, because
so he does know what APAC is. I hadn't seen that clip. Not only does he know how to pronounce it, he knows what it is. Huh. Weird. He also always says that, by the way, that it's anti-Semitic to say that he has any affiliation with APAC. Does he have APAC money? I don't know. Who knows? But does he run defense for Israel? Yeah, he does. David Pakman is just one of those liberals, like, you know, the like whole like, oh, we need social change in this country. we should also missile every baby, and like that's literally his worldview. So if he's not getting funding from AIPAC, that's honestly a little scarier. That he's just saying that shit for free on the timeline. But I was kind of disappointed. I always thought David Pakman was somewhat fine in terms of like liberal people to watch. Also, me turning up that light made me shiny as fuck. How white my teeth are. Let me turn down the light. I'm gonna open another one. Oh my gosh. There. Good enough. I opened up one of the second lights and now it's lighting up the ceiling for no reason. That totally helped. Yeah, I like how I like to editorialize in here and I never end up saying what I said. I just think it's shady. I just think this whole chorus thing is shady. I don't think we need to be doing the whole like shadow organization, like secret media funder. I mean, look at how well that's worked out for the right. The Daily Wire is gone. What's his face? Dave Rubin, he's gone, and he was getting a ton of money from them. Steven Crowder's gone. Charlie Kirk is like demonstrably unpopular amongst the base. Although he's not gone just yet. Turning Point USA seems to be out the door. I mean, this is really not working the way that Chorus thinks it's working, and they're trying to recreate that with the Democrats. Ugh. Anyway, Rishi Torres, who's one of the most despicable Zionist congressmen, he's one of the most despicable Zionists in Congress. Dude, I can't even dude, how does he even do that? I can't even do that. It's kind of a freaky face to make. I don't really know how to do that. Anyway, Rishi Torres, absolute monster when it comes to Israel. He went on the Adam Friedland show, also known as Come Town. And you know, big fan of Come Town. But he went on there and I guess he was expecting like a softball interview. Bro is literally a robot. He's a robot. And I timestamped this one moment where he's like really nasty towards Adam. But dude is quite literally just a robot. It's so gross. You know, he's like asking him about his background, what it's like where he lives, the district that he represents. And it's just like, I mean, you would think the dude was built in a lab and has never even been to the Bronx. He was just told to say the name of the Bronx like 500 times and be like, yep, they're the poorest district in the nation. And, you know, the Bronx, they're cool. The Bronx, they're sick. The Bronx, I represent them. But those dirty poor people, I mean, that's literally how he acts. He thinks the DNC's whole, like, he thinks the DNC's whole issue with losing the election has nothing to do with Israel because he receives AIPAC money. But also, Adam confronted him on, like, the BlackRock donation that he got. Like, do you think BlackRock donating all this money to you has any bearing on the policies you pass for your district? And his defense was, hey, I don't pay attention to the kind of money I'm getting from people. What are you gonna do? That was literally his response. he's just like, oh well. And Adam was like, you can't just give the money back. He also asks him about if he met Trump, what would he say? And he just doesn't know how to answer. It feels weird in this era. In the first Trump administration, it felt like the Democrats were super hostile towards Trump in like a nice, cathartic, healthy way. And this time around, it seems like they all kind of agree with him, but they can't like openly say that. He's asked what he would say, and Adam's like, I'm the president. All right, go ahead and introduce. Yeah, I'm the president. And Rishi goes, how about those files, huh? And Adam is like, what? No. That's what you got to say to him? They're putting kids in cages, and that's what you got to say to him? You have to watch the whole thing. But there's one part I want to go over. And it's this part. It's the part that sums up everything you need to know about Zionist ideology. And it's so embarrassing.
I think you've established yourself.
This is after he's been grilled a little bit about the BlackRock donation.
As the fiercest champion of the state of Israel in Congress.
I've never described myself in those terms.
I'm
pro-Israel, but those are terms.
Well, I think maybe you've been dubbed that.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, like, I'm a Jewish person.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I have my own opinions on this. You have your own opinions. And this is a really frustrating...
I might have not timestamped the specific moment. I think I timestamped the entire part about Israel. But, I mean, we can go through it. He does call Adam Friedland an anti-Semite, despite Adam Friedland being Jewish and Rishi Torres is not Jewish. So, kind of weird.
Conversation to see people have on the internet. I don't get an opportunity to talk to someone that's making decisions and supporting these things that are a huge deal to people right now. Sure. Yeah. One thing that I thought was interesting, and I want to start with you, is that you described your first trip to Israel in 2015 as a life-changing experience, and I just wanted to follow the narrative of like you growing up and your struggles, and then going into the government. Like, what was that experience like, and what bred that passion for Israel in you?
Well, since I grew up poor my whole life, I never had an opportunity to travel abroad.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever
free trip
went to a foreign country.
So it was life changing because you went on a trip.
Part of the reason went abroad for the first time, life changing.
He runs defense for Israel because he got a free vacation out of it.
But also, you know, when you experience the complexity of Israel, you go to the old city.
What did you see? Like, what did you witness? Like,
well, go to the old city.
Yeah. I've been there.
Yad Vashem, which is the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah.
Go to the Masada, where Jews committed mass suicide to escape enslavement.
Of course, I've hiked up Masada.
The Gaza envelope.
Yeah.
Went to Sderot, spoke to the local mayor who said that.
You went to Gaza?
I did not go to Gaza, no.
What did you say, Gaza envelope?
No, Gaza envelope, which is right on the border with, it's Israel, but it's right at the border with Gaza. So.
It's right next to the fence.
Yeah, it's in the proximity to.
What's at the Gaza envelope?
Like
I've never heard that term before.
Sderot.
Yeah, with the rockets.
Yeah.
Going in. Yeah.
Yeah.
How far is Sderot from Gaza? It's like a mile or something.
Yeah, within a mile.
Yeah. It's right next to it.
Yeah, striking proximity.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's a small place.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, that's why Hamas was able to so easily penetrate on October 7th.
By getting over the fence.
Yeah, and it's so close.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just want to know because it seems like it was powerful, and it seems like it's informed your record, and I that's what's interesting to me. It's like
it's hilarious how much he doesn't want to talk about it. People theorize that Rishi Torres might have gotten a little sum while he was over there, which really does line up with the honeypotting that they do in Israel, where they'll choose like an IDF woman to be your wife, or to like coerce you into marrying them. Like they do that a lot. People will go on Birthright and they'll have you like tour around with the IDF, and they'll like kind of arrange for you to meet, without ever explicitly saying it, for you to meet a woman that serves in the IDF. It's called honeypotting. I think there was a YouTuber that did that recently, and there's even examples of another YouTuber doing that a long time ago. Wink. But people theorize that he got a little something. Just a theory. I'm not saying that's true. But they're theorizing that he got a little something, and that's why he speaks so favorably about Israel and his trip there.
Your story and how you got here, and like I think it's narratively what fascinates me.
Maybe one day you'll give me a chance to tell it. So.
Why are you annoyed by this question?
I'm kidding. So I spoke to the local mayor of Sderot. Sderot.
Yeah.
And he said to me that the majority of his children struggle with post-traumatic stress because families like his live under the threat of relentless rocket fire. And I remember seeing these bus stops doubling as bomb shelters. You know, I come from the Bronx where people live in fear of bullets and guns, but you know, we in America do not worry about Canada and Mexico firing rockets into American homes and communities. You know, we're a country of 330 million people. We're surrounded by oceans, and Israel's a tiny democracy the size of New Jersey that's literally surrounded by both state and non-state actors that are.
I love the lines about like Israeli children live in, you know, PTSD riddled like fear. It's like, yeah, whose fault is that? Stop occupying the Gaza Strip and stop firing rockets into the Gaza Strip. Quit dropping bombs into Gaza. Like, quit creating the conditions that foster resistance against an imperial superpower. Sorry, nation state backed by an imperial superpower. Israel really doesn't have that much going for it, if we're being honest. Like, without us, they'd be a little fucked.
Intent on wiping it off the map. So,
yeah,
you know, I left Israel with an empathy for the unique security situation that Israel faces.
Did you visit the occupied territories while you were there?
I went into the, not Gaza, but I went into the Palestinian Ramallah. So.
Yeah, Ramallah.
Yeah.
And what did you see when you were
That's
there?
interesting that he acknowledges that it's Palestinian. I feel like these AIPAC donors are not going to be too super fond of that.
Yeah, we spoke to Palestinians
saying
who
the
obviously have a much
P-word.
more critical view of Israel. And
and that didn't resonate as much as, like, what was your takeaway from hearing?
Look,
you're hearing the mayor of Sderot, his children have PTSD, and then this guy's like, Israel's screwing with me.
well, look, I'm in favor of a two-state solution.
Sure.
Two-state solution will never work. I'm going to go into this a little bit. A two-state solution will never work at this point. All a two-state solution does is create the conditions for Israel to continue to occupy and oppress a people. They can give an identity to those people and then make the argument that that country is provoking them, and they have to do what they got to do. Like, it's the same justifications they use for bombing Lebanon and Syria and Yemen and killing the Houthi-controlled government's prime minister, and the justification they can use for bombing Iran. They just can't really use that same level of justification for Gaza, because people can make the argument that Hamas is not a governing body over like an actual recognized country. But if this two-state solution went through, where the West Bank and Gaza became Palestine, then Israel can spin things and skew things in a way that they can justify conflict with the nation of Palestine. I'm in favor of a one-state solution, which would see equal rights and reparations done in Israel, where segregation is outlawed. You can call the country whatever. I've never harped on the name, but I mean, fuck it, call it Palestine if you want to. I think it should be called that, but obviously they're not going to go for that. The people living in Israel, but I think it should be called Palestine. Segregation should be made illegal. Apartheid should be made illegal. There is heavy apartheid and segregation in the West Bank because it's one of the few places where Israel allows Israelis to illegally settle in the area. They used to allow them to do that in Gaza too, before they like basically forced them out so they could start to subjugate the Palestinians in Gaza. But equal rights, like we sort of have, like we have in the United States, and reparations, and a right to return. Palestinians should be allowed to live on the land that their ancestors, who may not even be ancestors, may even still be alive, people who were forced out during the Nakba, they should be allowed to live on that land that the people who came before them once occupied, once lived on for a long time. But yeah, I'm a one-stater. I feel like that's the most peaceful and functional and practical way to go about that kind of thing. I feel like a two-state solution opens the door for more subjugation and more of a hostile way that Israel acts towards every other internationally recognized country that surrounds it. So yeah, of course someone like Rishi Torres fucking agrees with that shit.
I feel like the just outcome lies not in the existence of a Jewish state to the exclusion of a Palestinian state, or the existence of a Palestinian state to the exclusion.
A Jewish state must exist, and he is not going to rule out a Palestinian state. Why not just a Palestinian state where Jewish people can live free and at peace? Why not that? You know, similar to how it was before the British took over after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. Why can't we just have that? Why do we have to have... I mean, replace some of the words here. Him saying we should have a white supremacist... Or sorry, a white nation state and a black nation state in North America. Like, imagine if he was saying some shit like that. Why not just have one country where everyone lives together and lives peacefully alongside each other? Why does it have to be one way or the other?
Of a Jewish state, it's the coexistence of both. So I think I want to see the struggle, both the Israeli and the Palestinian struggle for self-determination to be reconciled in the form of a two-state solution.
A big topic nowadays is campus anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Have you spoken out?
Anyway, they get into the weeds with it. Adam gets like really emotional in this, and it's actually kind of nice. It shows the humanity of someone like Adam and just the absolute robotic and apathetic response from Rishi Torres. Does somebody have the clip? Somebody have the timestamp for the anti-Semitism thing? Probably not. Fuck. How many views does this have now? Only 500,000? It needs more. This should have way more attention on it. Let's look. Oh, it's definitely their most popular episode in recent months. Wow. Since the Anthony Fantano one. Anthony Weiner didn't get as much, but it was still pretty up there. Let's see. Hassan got some decent amount of attention. Damn, okay. Shoot. I hope that gets more attention. Because it really does showcase just how like apathetic and disgusting even the Democrats can be about this topic. I mean, of course, you know. All right, let's end the episode fun. Actually, yeah, let's end the episode fun. I'm not going to talk about the last thing that I had on here because it's just gross. It's disgusting, and you should look into it on your own. It's the Reddit account that was surfaced that came to light last week regarding a certain content creator. It's gross. It's a guy claiming that he was role playing as a child predator. Go look at it yourself. I don't want to talk about it. I want to instead do the fun thing, because that's vile and disgusting. Ugh. Okay, so I saw this post on the r/Deftones subreddit, and you know, it's when someone starts ranking all the Deftones albums, and you know what? I gotta do it. Sorry, Deftones subreddit, but I'm going to be ranking the Deftones albums. And so I have a tier list ready. I have the raw photo of a tier list ready. At least I should. Do I not? Did I save it? I did. Okay. I did save it. So let's get started. We're going to rank all... I'm going to not just do the 10 albums. I'm going to do the B-sides and rarities, and I'm going to do the covers album as well. Because I do like those. So... we're going to rank all the Deftones albums. Now, we're going to go in order of when it released. So the first one we have... Dude, I'm so tired. But we're going to get through it. The first one we got is Adrenaline. And then I'm going to ask my girlfriend to come in here and tell me what she thinks about my ranking. Okay, Adrenaline by Deftones. I need the picture of the album art. Copy image. Okay. Where would I put Adrenaline on this chart? Adrenaline is decent. I think it does definitely have that first album quality. And it's more of the style of theirs that I'm not super keen on, but like I still don't mind it. I like some of the songs. I like Bored. Bored slaps, the first song on the album. That song hits. I like that song. Engine Number 9 is a classic. I do like songs off this album. But like overall, I'm not ranking these based on quality, by the way. I'm ranking them based on my own opinion of what I think of them. Like how much I like them. Adrenaline, I will put it like a B. It's not my go-to. It's not the first one I jump to when I think of Deftones. There's at least like a decent amount of other albums in line, in the queue, waiting for me when I listen to Deftones. Next one is Around the Fur. I think Around the Fur is a nice continuation of Adrenaline, while also being like a nice, refreshing, new kind of sound, I guess. But it's the same thing for me, where you know I like My Own Summer, I like Be Quiet and Drive Far Away. You know, that's the thing. Mascara is good too. So is Around the Fur. I like this album, but I think it's in the same boat as Adrenaline for me, where it's not the first thing I jump to when I think of Deftones. But they're about the same for me. I like them both about equally. I like songs off of them. Don't really jump for joy for the entire album, but they're still good nonetheless. I'm not going to trash on them. They are good albums. The next one is White Pony. Let me get the photo. I like this part where I get to Google the album art and talk about it while I do so. Let me get a smaller picture of White Pony. Damn. White Pony is probably one of the best bangers I've heard from Deftones. I would put White Pony at a solid A. And the more I rank these, the more you're gonna see like what I like about Deftones. I would put Deftones at like a solid A. They're pretty good. Or what am I saying? Sorry. White Pony at a solid A. Jesus Christ, not Deftones. I would put White Pony at a solid A. Pretty good. I like a lot of the songs on there. It just has such a nice quality to it. I like the lore behind it. Digital Bath, Teenager, Knife Party, Change, Passenger. I love all of these songs. Teenager is one that I've been like really obsessing with lately, and I found out that one was supposed to be a Team Sleep song. How cool is that? So I think that's pretty neat. That they were like demoing a Team Sleep song on one of the most popular Deftones albums of all time. The album after that is where I start to kind of dip into the, I guess it's controversial. I don't know how controversial this opinion is. The self-titled album, Deftones. That's the one I had on my mind when I was misspeaking just a couple minutes ago. The self-titled album. The self-titled, I'm a little not super into. I like Minerva, and that's about pretty much the only song I like on this album. It's just a style that I'm not really super fond of from them. And also, look, I like Chino's vocals. They do not sound super good here. They really don't. Like, they don't sound good that much. And I know there's a lot of lore about like him paralyzing his vocal cord and inflaming the other one and whatnot, but it feels almost more deliberate that he's singing the way that he is. And I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the style of this album, and I know that this album also almost destroyed their band. Like, I'm pretty sure that album almost destroyed their entire band. So I don't know. I'm just not super into this album, but it's not like a bad album. It's just not like my favorite, if that makes sense. The next album is B-Sides and Rarities. I know this one's not really like an album. It's more like a compilation, but I kind of like this one. It's not like a masterpiece. I would probably put it like down here. But I like the acoustic version of like Change and is it Change or is it Digital Bath? Oh, it's both. Change, Digital Bath. Yeah, I like those. I like the Be Quiet and Drive Away acoustic. The Teenager Idiot version has been stuck in my head. It has been stuck in my fucking head for way too long now. Simple Man is a really good one too. But yeah, Teenager Idiot version has just been on loop, on repeat all day for me. I can hear it when I'm at work. I can hear it right now. Something about the way the guitars sound and the way that Idiot Pilot sings those vocals, it's just so good. I really like it. But I would put it, I don't even know if I would put it that high. I might actually put it a little lower if I'm being super honest here. I might even put it more so down here. Like, it's not like the best thing they've ever made, but I really like the songs on it. It's just not really like the thing you think of when you think of Deftones. Now, this next album, the lore behind it makes me see it in a different light, in a more sad, depressing kind of light, which is so unfortunate because it's like arguably one of their best albums. And that's the next one up. It's Saturday Night Wrist. This is probably like one of their best albums. A lot of people consider it their best album. And I honestly see why. It has really good songs on it. It kind of refines their more modern sound. It's such like a nice departure from the self-titled, and it takes like all of the nice melodic elements from White Pony and kind of expands on them, and also kind of leans more into what they would soon start making, which is more like fantasy like songs, like more spacey, atmospheric, like alt metal rock. It's actually really cool how good this album is. The sad lore behind it is that they pretty much didn't record a lot of this album in the same room together. They recorded I don't even know what I'm doing with my hair right now, by the way. They recorded a lot of it in their own homes or like in separate studios, and then would just email the tracks to each other or to the producer. So kind of sad, the lore behind it. It's because they were going through a rough patch as a band. And then there's a lot of like backstory of what happens after this album comes out. They were working on an album called Eros. And then just one of their band members, the bassist Chi, got into a car accident, went into a coma, sustained pretty heavy brain injuries, and then a few years later died. So that completely like killed their work on that next album. And I guess they ended up just starting fresh on a new album to replace that one. And that would be their next album, Diamond Eyes. It's such a depressing time for this band, dude. Like, it's just so depressing. Let me get this album art going, dog. So, Diamond Eyes, I don't know how I should judge this one, because I'm not doing this for White Pony, although I feel like if I did this for White Pony, the ranking would actually go way down. I'm not including the deluxe of White Pony, because if I did, it would be like C or D tier. I'm gonna consider the deluxe for Diamond Eyes, the valid version of Diamond Eyes, the one with the 14 tracks. I feel like it's just such a nice album, and for me, it's one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it. Let me look at the rest of the albums I have left to review. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put it like right here in the S tier, in second place. I love this album. I really do. Starts out strong, continues strong. I mean, my God. And the 14-song deluxe version, like, I guess all of the songs on here are separate from the other deluxe one and the main one, so like all the listen counts are really low. But like, I don't know, this album stays strong throughout the whole thing. In the original record, I think This Place's Death is such a good finale song. 976 Evil, we were listening to it in the car, and I said, you know, I feel like this song is a phone number. Like, it's titled after a phone number, and I was right. It is. It's a reference to something else, but it is indeed based on an old phone number, because phone numbers used to not have area codes like that. But all of these songs are just so good. There's like one or two that I can't hear in my head when I look at the names, but the rest of them, I know exactly what they sound like. And this album is just so good. I mean, it's literally in my top 3 of the band, so That should tell you what I think about it. The next one is the covers album. I think some of the covers on here are decent. Let me pull it up. I think some of the covers on here are decent. Like I like Drive. I do actually like their cover of Drive. But like some of these I could do without, and some of them are also re-releases. Like Simple Man is a re-release. I don't know. It's just like it's a whatever. It's like a throwaway. I put it with the B-sides. Kind of just a throwaway album. They shouldn't have re-released all of the old covers. They should have made all new ones. You know what I mean? God, dude, my hair is really fucking pissing me off today. Look at how it's like struggling to part in the middle. You see that crap? Isn't that ridiculous? I'm gonna shave my head. Mark my fucking words. Alright, the next one is Koi no Yoken. This is the most goated album they've ever released, ever, and I will stand by that until they release something better. Sorry, I don't make the rules. But this is my favorite album of theirs, by far. I just cannot get over how good this album is. I have it on vinyl. I have it on vinyl. I want the CD. I want the CD rips. Entombed lives inside my bloodstream. Rosemary is probably my favorite song from them. Entombed also has special meaning with me and my girlfriend. That album is so good. It's so good. Yeah, that's what I got to say about that. I literally don't know what else to say. It's just so good. I like every single song on here. I'm looking at the track list. I like every single song on here. All of them. And then we move right on to Gore. I gotta be honest, folks. I gotta be honest, folks. Gore is meh. Now, don't take my ranking here the wrong way. By no means does this mean it's a bad album. I just don't particularly care to listen to it. I feel like they were going for something there and it just didn't work. There's some good songs on it. I really like the wow 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 wow. And people think like, oh, you only like the TikTok part of the beginning of the song. No, bitch. I like the whole damn song. The whole damn thing. I know a lot of people who hear that first part and they go, ooh, and then they hear that second part, aka the rest of the song, and they go, ooh. I like the whole damn thing. I like the whole thing. Is it a little bit of a slower, more boring song? Yeah. Is it a good song though? Yes. I like it. Doomed User is also a good song. It reminds me of Engine Number 9. In a lot of ways. It is kind of structured that way. Xenon is fine. Hearts and Wires is pretty decent. But the rest of the songs I can do without. I can go without those. Phantom Bride is okay. I don't know. I can do without the other songs. Overall, not like my favorite album. Not really an album I want to listen to very much. which, you know, based on where it's sitting and what I've said about the others, I don't really listen to this one all that much. I mostly listen to the ones above it. The next one is Ohms. Ohms is fine. It's a little underrated. It's a little underrated. I would put it right next to Around the Fur. I'd put it right here. I like some songs off of there. I was a little harsh towards it in my private music review, but I've re-listened to it a few times. This Link is Dead. The Spell of Mathematics. Ooh, that probably the best song on there. Genesis is great. Ceremony is great. Radiant City is good. The song Ohms, pretty good. This album is pretty underrated. The sound they were going for was a little like harping a little bit more on their old stuff. It just didn't really stick the landing I think most people expected it to. But it's a decent album. It doesn't deserve to be any lower than Gore, I'll say that. But it also doesn't deserve to be lower than the self-titled. It's still a pretty damn good album. Seriously, dude, my hair is nuts. Let's move on to the final album. And to no one's surprise, is going to be ranked pretty high. Because it's just nothing but bangers. I think people that dislike certain songs on here are faking it. Because even Anthony Fantano likes pretty much all the songs on here. He just has some notes for some of them. But even then, he gave it a higher score than Ohms. Private Music has consistently good tracks on it. And is such a creative album. And such a breath of fresh air for them. It's just, I don't know, I just really like it. Like, all the songs on there I like. Funny enough, the only thing that I'm a little like, about is the cover. The album cover. But even then, like, I get it. It's just, like, not something I'm used to from them. But yeah, consistently good album. The only song on the entire album that I don't really enjoy listening to is Cut Hands. And that's it. So, that's what I gotta say about these albums. That's my album ranking. Here you go. Here's the final look of my album ranking. Nothing below a D, to be honest. I'm not just outright saying there are bad albums from Deftones. I'm just saying that there are some that I don't really like and some that I do. And that's my ranking. I don't know what to tell you. That's my ranking. I feel like that's pretty inoffensive, considering some of the other ones I've seen. Oof. Some of them put Saturday Night Wrist pretty low on the poll. That's a crime. That's a crime.
No introduction needed. I got elite ball knowledge, and I'm about to cook. Actually, don't know. I'm thinking. Can you just, like, stand so I can look at you? Oh. Okay, let's see what you got here. Okay, S tier. Makes sense. Checks out for you. How close do I have to be to this thing? Whoa, whoa. Anyways. Yeah, I'm leaving Private Music up here. And I'm leaving Diamond Eyes up here. But I'm gonna move. Oh. It's 1! Let me judge your... Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm debating. You put the... Is that the covers one? The covers and then the B-side and covers in the same one. I would have just left it be the B-side one. Huh? Oh. Okay. Alright, mucus in my throat. Yeah, I'm leaving private music up there and Diamond Eyes. And that's literally it for my S tier. Because then I'd move. And this is hard. Because honestly, I like all of them. Except for Gore. But hold on, because Gore's not bad, but it's not as good. Like, why is Self-Titled way better than Gore? Yeah, honestly. Yeah, no, I would keep... Honestly, I would put Gore and... I was gonna say put Self-Titled there too, but I honestly think it's a little underrated for what it is. Would you agree? No, I'm saying Self-Titled being C, I would leave it. I was gonna originally say I could put Gore and Self-Titled in D, but I honestly kind of like Self-Titled a little more than the average person. I think I'm gonna move Around the Fur to A. And Adrenaline also to A. And I'm gonna move White Pony to B. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I like White Pony, but I like the other ones way better. I know. Arrest me. I like their the 90s styled harder stuff way better. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that you're...
Yeah. So what am I at now? Oh, I haven't done Saturday Night Wrist and Koi.
Yeah.
I honestly will leave the covers and the B-side. Oh, covers... I think I want to leave covers in C, and I like the B-sides, so I'm going to put them in B. Because I like the B-side better. Covers are fine, but I'm not a fan of covers, so I don't really care about covers. Yeah, like the B-side songs are better. B-side will go to B. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. They're gonna be either A or B, to be honest. My S tier is already set in stone. Just those two. I'll put Koi in A and Saturday Night Wrist in B. Because honestly, anything in the A and B tier, I have about half or at least a little over half of the album liked. The other half is, it's fine. It's whatever.
Go from S to D, and I'm going to draw an arrow of where you would move everything.
Okay.
That'll be how we visualize it. So... Let me get white, I guess, or I'll do red. So, Koi is going to A.
Yeah.
Might be too thick of a line. Just do 7. Okay. This. Okay, Koi goes to A.
Yeah.
Where's White Pony going? B.
White Pony.
B. Okay.
And then those three go to...
These 3?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you are a bigger Ohms fan than I thought. Okay, so these go to A.
Saturday Night Wrist goes...
Saturday Night Wrist goes to B. These stay, right?
Yes, those are staying.
Okay.
Um,
Self-titled stays. Right.
I'm fucking up. Yeah,
Would you say goes in S? Just these two?
just literally just those two. I think those are objectively their best albums ever.
I think you moved this down, right?
It was either that B-sides went to B. Oh yeah, it was B-sides went to B and covers stayed to C.
So this is going to B.
No. Leave it in C now and then move covers down. I don't.
Ooh.
I'm not fucking.
That's fine. So
That's
this
it.
is accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. At least you have a more fleshed out A category.
I'm pretty consistent.
Yeah. And go ahead and elaborate on what your elite ball knowledge was again, your origin.
The moment I was born, from the day that I was born, I've known every single Deftones song. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. All right, thank you for your service, soldier. Wow. Thank you for-
Deftones, sir.
All right. Thanks. That was my girlfriend's ranking. If you're wondering, yes, she has been listening to Deftones since birth because her dad is an OG Deftones fan. So he literally used to sing Deftones songs to her to go to sleep. All right, that was fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to support this podcast, we're on patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. If you want to listen to the audio version of this podcast, we are on pretty much every streaming platform. And yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Bit of a long one, but we like that, folks, don't we? Don't we, folks? Don't we like that, folks? All right. See you guys next week. Peace.